But speaking of game, let's go to our next game. So this one's called Red Flags.
Okay.
The idea with this game is we're going to give you 3 hypothetical situations. Each situation has 2 things that are going great and 1 that's not so great. So totally 9 statements. I'll read it out to you and then we'll show it to you for your reference. But basically, you have to pick which of these 3 situations you would rather be in. So situation 1 is that SportVot has broadcasted over 1 million games. It has successfully launched an innovative feature for fans to interact with sports content, but 20% of your users have reported experiencing technical glitches. Situation 2, over 500,000 athletes are profiled on SportVot. The SportVot community is becoming a vibrant hub for sports enthusiasts, but it's still only covered in 12 countries. And situation 3, SportVot has reached 500 million digital views in the next 2 years. An athlete was scouted through SportVot for the Indian cricket team, but SportVot loses its biggest paying advertiser.
Okay, so
if you choose either situation 1, 2, or 3 that you would rather be in,
I think I'm okay with all 3, to be honest, because of the greens. But something that we can definitely not live with for sure is situation 1 because of the last red flag. That could create trouble. 20% of users.
High percentage.
Yeah, it's a quite a high percentage. I think situation 2 is what would be something that we could live with the easiest. Losing your biggest paying advertiser is not that great again, but you can always get that one particular advertiser back. 20% of users, you can't make them happy again. Oh, you can, but it's difficult. But situation 1 and 3 are something that we would be less. Situation 2 is something that we could live with.
Yeah.
I think 12 countries is more than enough.
More than enough, yeah.
More than enough. Much more than enough. I think we are quite close to that number now. So we'll be very much happy. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah. Situation 2, I would say.
Yeah, makes sense.
Any particular reason if you want me to go into, I can go into that as well.
No, so the idea for this game is that, so in the past we've had people that have picked a situation because it's a challenge they know they can deal with.
Yeah.
So we've had that. We've had people say that, okay, this challenge exists, but at least the green is good enough for us to like figure it out. So it's either based off the greens or the reds, or okay, fine, this, if that's the green, then this red is manageable. So it's kind of like seeing what perspective.
I think everyone. I think like my thought process also that the greens are so good that you can live with that one red. But then a red that you can be the most comfortable with is that is not even in our bigger sort of picture stuff. When you look at that, red was not a red for us. So hence,
I feel like if you absolutely killed it in India, also it's good enough, dude.
Yeah, more than
one country can make or break you.
We were just still in 15% of the country, I would say.
Yeah,
not even 15%. So more like I think the whole life, even if you work, if I do, then maybe you will do 100% of it. Maybe it's big enough. It's big enough. But then you also have to be very real about the India opportunity. Like you have a cap to it.
100%.
Yeah. So when you do consumers facing products, and especially in content, it's difficult.
But the good thing for you is mobile penetration in India is pretty decent. Like it's at a good level and it's only increasing. Like the growth rate of mobile penetration in India is, I'm pretty sure, one of the highest globally.
The adoption is also very good.
Yeah.
You see people today who are very, like the UPI is the best example of adoption, right? Digital payments today. So
it's a game changer.
Exactly. And that's not at all a challenge. The adoption and digital penetration is how can you monetize that user base? The only question that I think everyone, even the biggest industry leaders, are trying to figure that. I think there will be a time where that time would also come. Maybe not today, but in 5 years from now, it's only going to come.
Yeah, and I think like if you take like other streaming providers, right? Like so take something like an OTT, which is, again, in India, I feel like the local players here focus more on connected mobile than connected TV.
And the local players are doing well as well.
They're doing really well.
If you see the East, they have their different language content
Yep.
Banglas and the northeastern language contents are doing well. People are sort of, because that's not readily available, so they are okay paying for that and consuming
Yeah.
it. But the real mainstream ones are then like, this is so readily available, maybe we won't pay. So interesting times, I feel. Next few years we'll know how industry leaders like again Jio and all
Definitely.
shape this
Yeah.
up.
Even if you take Jio Cinema and Z5, they have more regional content as compared to the other players.
Yes.
And so even there, like if you see with them, their app, mobile app, with Z5 at least I know this, is a really good app.
Yeah.
They've not put that much effort into connected TV because their users are mobile users.
Yeah.
And they do like everything, advertising and everything accordingly. So it is like we know that mobile is a good distribution channel to attack in India.
Yeah. No, definitely. So,
And it's easy acquisition for people to get mobiles versus other mediums.
Yes, because it
especially
serves
for the
so many
growing-
purposes.
Yeah.
Like mobile is just a consequence of other.
it's
needs.
mobile first for a lot of
Exactly.
people.
Yeah.
A generation has not seen like this. My father used to. You guys have not seen the floppy generation.
Yep.
The CDs.
Yeah.
Then the pen drives, the USB sticks. Now the USB is still there to an extent, but everything is on cloud delivery.
Yeah.
Everything is on the phone, and so that evolution, I think maybe I don't know what is going to be the next one. Someone in the US or I hope someone in India also figures the next big evolution. But I think it's going to evolve, and 5 years from now would be a different story. So yeah,
Definitely.
and like even if you are covering the entire country for someone like us, it's one.
More
And
than
our
enough.
country
More
is
than
big
enough.
enough. Like it's not a tiny country that we are a part of.
More than enough. Yep.